Radio Free Tatooine presents Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Boshuda, fellow Holotable hustlers. You're tuned in to Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast that's better than some and worse than others. I'm Sean, a.k.a. The Other Sean, and sitting across the Holotable from me is Josh, a.k.a. The Golden Pop-Tart.
So the other day I found out, what would I do if there's a tornado warning and I was up in the middle of the night? What's the number one thing that I'm going to do?
Do your dailies?
There you go. Like,
I might die tomorrow. I got to do it for the guild.
So we had a tornado that hit probably just a few miles from the house here. And so it's going crazy. You know, we're all going downstairs and there I am. The kids are underneath the pool table. I'm on there doing my dailies. I'm like, it's fine. I'm good. But if I don't have internet tomorrow, like, how's this going to work? Right. So,
right. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, hats off to you. That's dedication. I love to see that. And fortunately, you did have internet, and you didn't
even lose
taken
power.
Away.
I mean, it was overall worked out pretty well.
What a happy ending!
I know, except for those people that had all the damage from the tornado. But hey, I was able to get a couple more, Conquest battles in, and I was relatively pretty safe in the basement.
This is a perfect ending. I don't think anyone was really hurt from what I saw. Just a little property damage, or So it's a stinker. But all right, so tornadoes in Michigan. 5v5 returns. These are our headlines. Leia's ultimate is free no more, or is it? Bad Batch gets even worse, and ladies and germs, Bane is coming. Before we get started, I want to announce there will be no show next week because I will be in Batuu building a lightsaber.
Nice.
I finagled. Look, we're going to Disney. We're doing it big. We're building a lightsaber. We're building droids.
Ooh.
I think I might do like some kind of like Star Wars photo shoot deal. We'll see. Look, I'm 45 years old and I've never been to Disney, so I'm doing the thing.
Nice.
With all this sweet podcast money, all this internet millions that we've made.
Oh, yes.
It'll be great. And you'll be going soon too.
Yeah.
If there's any droids left after my family goes through there, I'm sure you can throw one
for
of
us,
them
it's
together.
Lightsabers only. So no droids
lightsabers
this time.
Only. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's from what I hear, lightsabers is, if you're gonna do one, that's like the amazing thing. So
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. What color is your lightsaber going to be?
I have no idea. Whenever I get that power in games, like in Fallen Order or whatever, like I don't know. I often end up with either green or blue because I just feel like that's if you're doing another color, like you're just being fancy,
Yes.
And I don't want to like, stand out in a crowd, a grown man walking around with a lightsaber.
Just getting it back on the plane.
I know. I just thought about that today. I was like, how do you even do that?
Yeah, that's things you have to think about.
Well, here we go. A little more strategic planning. It's going down. Maybe I'll just ship it or something. I think a lot of people ship that stuff, right? I don't know. If you have suggestions, come to our Discord server. Let us know. Galactic War Report on Discord. All right. So we got not a lot to go over this week, but the stuff that we do have is pretty doggone good. So let's cut to it. Let's get into some Blurf Day celebrations. On the first, we've got a whole heap of Blurf Days. You might remember on this day in 2016, we all remember where we were when we got the news that Magma Trooper was coming to the game.
Oh, yes. Oh, Magma.
Finally. Finally, the Magma Trooper has arrived. That was from Battlefront, was it? It was from a video game, right?
I should know that, but I don't. I
don't remember. I played Battlefront for a while, and I don't remember a Magma Trooper, but...
Speaking of, you see the 2's coming back.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're re-releasing it. And
the original Battlefront 2, not the newer. That's right. Yeah, I did see that. That's cool. That's
awesome.
I'm excited. I like me a bit of that. Maybe I'll get on Twitch and do a little bit of that. It could happen.
Yeah.
Also, in 2018, now this one I do remember, Darth Sion, Darth Traya, and Visas Mar all launch on the 1st in 2018. That was the launch of the Sith Triumvirate Raid.
Wow.
And that's shortly before that. That's the one time we went to Capitol Games and stormed their offices and got to see the preview of that raid, and it looked so amazing. And then it came out like the next week when we were all back, out of their faces. And it was so hard. It was so hard. I was like, I was so excited for this, and Darth Nihilus just keeps destroying me. But, man, we spent some time in that raid. I mean, a lot of time in that raid. That was 2018. In 2021, the Razor Crest came out. So, over the years, a lot. Like Magma Trooper, let's be honest. No one uses Magma Trooper for anything. But the rest of those characters,
Yeah, that's a
very heavy rotation.
Visas Mar, though, back then, what did you do with
Nothing.
her?
She was worthless for ages. She looked kind of exciting when the raid came out because she had like bonuses against Sith, and we thought, maybe. But she was literally just nothing. He just did nothing with her until Starkiller came out.
Yeah.
That was what finally gave her a place to belong. And she's good, obviously, on that team. The res is super, super handy. Good tune. Just needed a home. And then Razor Crest, obviously, just awesome.
That's fun.
Ship.
Oh yeah.
On the 4th, we've got 2. We've got Dark Trooper, came out in 2021. That's 3 years ago. Jeez, oh Pete, time flies when you're old as me.
Yeah, it does. Yes.
TIE Echelon in 2022. The First Order turtle, basically. Tank,
Yeah.
I always thought it looked a little bit like a turtle.
A little bit.
Can't explain it. Just kind of does.
It's been useful for me. So, I'm trying not to use that as a executor counter anymore, but it worked at least.
Yeah, I had to use it this week in Grand Arena. Let me tell you. We'll get to that.
You will tell me. Yeah.
I will tell the world about that. All right, let's take a look at this week's upcoming in-game events brought to you by swgohevents.com for a complete list of past, present, and future events. swgohevents.com is a universe of info in a galaxy of heroes. Now, today, as we launch on the 1st, we've got an Omega battle on Jakku. We've got Fleet Mastery for the Home 1. And we have a Galactic Challenge on Hoth. You got bonuses for First Order, and you're fighting against some rebel scum. On the 2nd... Oh, what's that?
I was going to say that one's not bad.
Hopefully, yeah. It depends on who those rebels are. My luck, it's going to be Leia.
If it's Leia, that's going to be...
They've done some dirty deeds before, so we'll see. On the 2nd, we've got an assault battle, Forest Moon, and that's it. On the 3rd, we have a credit heist.
I actually need credits right now, so it's weird. I've gone through so much.
Flying through them lately. Sometimes I'll do a weird thing where I don't know, I'm dumb. So I'll do like a big remod that costs a lot of credits. And then I realize, well, I'm right in the middle of a territory battle, so I need to remod for the Reva mission. And then I remod again. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? And maybe I might do it again before Grand Arena locks. And that's what happened this week. I've done 4 remods in the last week-ish, maybe a little more than a week. No, I think it's exactly a week, because when Territory Battles happens, I always do my Reva mission after recording this show on Thursday nights. So, yikes.
Now, what do you normally keep in, like, how many millions?
I don't have a hard number, but I used to fluctuate around 100 million.
Yeah.
And now, right now, let me see where I'm at. I'm not dangerously low. I'm at 67 million. That's a lot lower
but
than
it feels like, I mean, I'm usually above 120, 130. Yeah. I'm down to 80. I'm sitting there like, geez,
I do like those hot utils remods. Those wipe you out so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worth it. It's great, but it costs a lot of crystals. So try not to do them too much. Let's see. We've got on the 4th an Omega battle on Bespin. On the 5th, oh boy, we've got a Galactic challenge. We don't know what and where yet, but it's coming. It always does. We've got an Ultimate Journey as well. We've got Proving Grounds, because Conquest will be ending. And anything else? I thought there was something else. Maybe not. Maybe that's it. Yikes. It's a big day. Big day. Is that when Territory Battle starts too? It is. That's what it is. Whew.
It's a
First
lot.
day of vacation in the parks. And I'm going to be like, kids, wait up.
Yeah, hold on.
Dad's got to deploy.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, those lines can be a little bit long, so now you just got something to do in there.
True. Just bring a portable charger.
You go, right?
On the 6th, we've got an Assault Battle, Secrets and Shadows, as well as a Fleet Mastery for Executrix. Not a bad week. Just, and we'll have Grand Arena going on, too. Jeez, my family's going to be mad at me. At least Conquest will be done, True. That's
a big thing. Huge thing.
If I am a stinker in territory battles, my guild's just going to be like, well, Sean's being a stinker in territory battles again. They're used to it, But Conquest actually hurts a little more. Before we get into top stories, I want to tell a quick little story of my own. So, long time listener to the show and patron and just all around big fan of the show. He's always there for Doth chats, comes to my streams a lot. Darth Jar Jar. We got matched up against his guild in Territory Wars. Now, Territory Wars, my guild does not focus on them, and even for a member of Black Sun Heroes, I'm toward the bottom of give a darn about Territory Wars. I try to set my defenses with some smart datacrons. I have some omicrons I've applied for Territory Wars because I want to be good, but I don't engage in it that much. I usually set some defenses and attack a little here and there, but I'm a mess. So I just preload teams, and it's often better if I just don't. I forgot to set any defenses. And he messaged me on Discord. He's like, man, I'm going to find your teams and I'm going to wreck them. I said, you're not going to find any of them because I forgot to set them. So, man, hard fought battle. In the end, it turned out both of our guilds. It's like, I think a lot of people can probably relate to this. Sometimes it's just like herding cats in those last couple hours of Territory War, where there's some people on Discord that are like, I have successfully defeated 24 teams and I have nothing left. Could some of these people that have not attacked at all please attack?
I know, right?
And so I come in and say, yeah, I could do it. And I mess up battle after battle after battle. I'm not going to say it wasn't a big disaster. I messed up a couple times, but I did a lot of attacking, way more than I usually do. And I did take out his Jabba team on, I think it was the 8th time that team was attacked.
Oh, wow.
And I finally took it out.
Only 8th, huh?
So anyways, we won, but it was close because both guilds were having that issue of trying to get people moving. And we both got into fleets with less than a half hour left to go. So it was a nail biter. But good game. That was really close and really fun. So anyways, let's take a look at this week's top stories. First, a quick shout out to all our fantastic Patreon supporters like Darth Jar Jar. If you enjoy what we do and want to be a part of our exclusive community, head over to patreon.com/Galactic War Report. Your support makes this podcast possible, and you will even get access to our VIP section of our Discord server for some behind-the-scenes banter. Now then, punch it, Pop-Tart.
All right, so this is going to be not too long of a section here, but we got a couple updates.
Not a lot.
I know, not a lot, but I mean, there's a lot to do, so that's kind of a nice thing in some ways. But now GL Leia here, we do have a fix that is happening. Now they are rolling back the fix that they did previously on Leia's ultimate. So now you have Leia, and when it comes to this ultimate, what's really going to be the change on that?
Yeah, so the difference is in the raid, whether you have Leia's ultimate or not unlocked on your account, you have it in the raid. And that was pretty cool, because I didn't have her ultimate right away. Now, of course, I do. It takes a while, but I've got it. So what they tried to do with this update is patch it so that you actually have to get her ultimate to use her ultimate in the raid. It makes sense. It seems like a kind of stinker of a move to do this far into. I mean, we're like halfway through this raid's life cycle. But I mean, you can't be that mad. That's clearly the intention, and they've just been letting us get away with it this long. Fine. But when they updated it, it broke it. So they real quick got in and fixed it today. And now, if you don't have her ultimate on your account, you have it in the raid again. So
there you go.
That's good news for a lot of people, right? But let that be a warning. Go get her. Why don't you have her ultimate? It's Chewie, right? And a chicken walker. What more do you want?
I mean, hey, it works. I know I was watching kind of some things on it, and I just had to laugh a little bit, but in the long run, I mean, you got to get it. I mean, there's just no other way around it,
That's what broke them fixing that, broke the ultimate journey, was it?
Yep.
So they had to roll it back so that we will get the ultimate journey. So win-win, I suppose, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because, I love those.
I mean, that right there was the big fix on there. Now, another interesting thing that's happened, of course, is the light speed bundles. I know when it first came out, individuals could only gift them. They couldn't actually buy them themselves. And so because of that error, they went through and extended, the packs. Now, there is still some issues with it, I guess. But in the long run, the big thing is you could only go through to buy them for somebody else. So they're taking care of that. Now, the other piece to this, what they're looking at is Bo-Katan just isn't powerful enough right now. Like, the Datacrons isn't working for her, the Omicrons, because the Bad Batch here, going on and actually seeing what their percentage rate against Bo-Katan isn't really that high, but I guess we are investigating.
It's high enough to raise some alarms, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Bad Batch are just, a little bit more gung-ho about Bo-Katan there. So it looks like they're going to be taking a look at that, see if they need to. I know the worry is just don't nerf them. I mean, it's not like they're going to be a top tier, but I get it. Bo-Katan's a new shiny little toy that we got to make sure it works right. But I always think, though, like, how good of that Bad Batch team do you have to do? And truly, is it all the Bad Batch characters? You know, is it like kind of piecemealing things? And if you have to take two different teams to beat one team, I mean, I don't know.
On. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that big of an issue to me. And it's not a galactic legend either.
I know.
You look at how we can beat Lord Vader with almost any team.
Yeah. Until
really,
you don't, though. That's the only thing.
You can beat Lord Vader, a lot of Lord Vader comps, anyways, with Fennec.
Yeah.
And maybe Bam. Bam. That's the biggest requirement, right? But
unless he's
that's
deleted
a galactic
first.
Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, deleting Bam makes that counter a little tricky, but
I mean, if it's a one move delete, a little bit of grumpiness on that one today. But I mean, I always feel like this needs to be a lot like, you know, rock, paper, scissors in some ways. Like, you just can't have it, in my opinion, like where stuff has to be able to beat stuff. I mean,
yeah, it's a tricky balance because when they release a character that you have to spend money to get, like Bo-Katan, I mean, let's be real. Unless you were saving a ridiculous amount of crystals, that's the idea with these characters is they want the tip of the spear to spend money, get it quickly, and be rewarded handsomely for doing so. Mm-hmm. So I get it. You do have to make them shine, but like you said, it doesn't just have to be pure power creep.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
That's kind of what Bo is. So,
but hey, I mean, I'm looking forward to it at some point. But I just like too that in most cases I don't get characters until after everything's kind of fixed, and so whatever I'm using generally is okay. So, well,
that dust settled about 8 or 9 months ago, so I'm fine.
Right. I mean, in probably about a year, I'll be pretty disappointed if they nerf the Bad Batch too. But you know, so I'll hold off from my frustrations until that point. So.
I was gonna say, you know, that would be perfect timing. Now that you're like, I think I'll get the Bad Batch. Capital Games says, I think you'll get an even worse batch. Is what you'll get. All right, so moving on, Conquest wrapping up in 3 days as we speak. I think 2, 3. I don't even know. I'm so out of it. I got Disney brain.
There you go. Right.
What's your final standing? Where are you at right now, and where do you think you'll land?
I'm tired. I mean, that's all I can say is like this is
like tonight. Like I'm so tired. I don't want to do this show anymore. I hate it.
With Conquest, I'm all right. I'm not. I mean, I hit the mute button when I yawn too much. But so I've really tried, and again, I tip my metaphorical hat to all you people that get this red crate every single time because it is work.
It is work.
But I think it's worth it. I think it's going to be definitely worth it this time. So I am currently at 612 biscuits, which is by far the most I've ever gotten. And I only have one more actual feat that I can finish. The rest of them are just done, which is Stagger, which... Thank you again, Darth JJ, for giving me some reminders on how to do this one. But I am 283 out of 300, so we're gonna finish that up. And then I have three nodes where I got 2 out of 3. So basically, I should be set.
Go in there with a GL and some butt. Yeah.
So red crate for the first time. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna end exactly at where I have to end, which is the 630. And so I had to, with that, there's a couple things I had to do. One was going to be the clones, defeating 50 with the clone. Yeah. That was a challenge. But then I ended up using Jedi Master Luke with basically, 3 clones and then Watt. And that honestly wasn't too bad against the...
Yeah, just constantly calling clones to do the killing.
And I'll tell you what, Captain Rex is just such a wonderful character. I mean, I just so good in that one there. So that's been nice. The other one, it was actually two other ones which were tough. The IG battle, I had to do it.
Oh,
so I looked at it and I was going to end up being one short or two short. And I'm like, I have to do this. There's no way that I can get around it because, I mean, my Ewoks team are trash, right? They're not going to get anything. You know, and I don't have Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon, so that's not going to happen. Leia don't have them. My Tuskens, they're not ready for anything. So it really means that I had to be down to that one. And that IG battle was, I used every second almost of that. And finally it happened. And then the other one that was pretty tough was actually Scout Trooper. Scout Trooper, I think it was gear 8, gear 9 or something. So that was a challenge. I mean, half the time, Darth Revan and Malak would just delete us.
Yeah,
and
she's
ended up
good, but not. She's not one of those characters that like you can get away with at low relics.
Yeah.
Like you got to put some work into her. She's not a one-trick pony. She dies when you hit her.
Wow, so you're saying that she does tricks, huh?
She does a little bit.
She does multiple tricks.
She's not very good at them because from what I've seen in the films, she usually crashes into a tree when she's trying to do
there you go, right? Wow. All right. So where am I going to end up with Bane? Right now I'm at 230 out of 330. So feel sad for me.
Yeah.
That is, we're going to get 90 for the red crate, so that means I'm going to be 10 short.
And you already bought the Conquest pass, so there's no extras. Yeah.
And that's the tough part is when I look at it, because I bought the pass, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, but in the long run, 10 short. So I'm just hoping, and again, there's going to be somebody that knows this information already, but I'm just hoping as soon as Conquest is done, they automatically put Bane into those shipments, and then I can just put a reminder on there. I have enough to get the 2, which means I can unlock. So if it's a couple days, now if it's going to be a full month before it happens, which isn't a month, but it's going to feel like a month, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so that is mine. I am so ready to do Conquest that, but on the other side of it, I feel like I wanted your Conquest. So tell me a little bit about yours.
Fine. So I'm going on vacation next week, but I'm on in-game vacation right now. I'm not worrying about anything in Conquest. I maxed it out the last 2 times and bought the pass. This time I bought the pass, so I got the bonus stuff. I did the math and said, hey, if I hit crate 5, I get Darth Bane. So I'm hitting crate 5. I have hit crate 5 already. And I've been simming. And it's beautiful. I'm looking at it, though, and the rewards. It kind of makes sense for me to push for one more crate. I'm at 454, and that would be 530. 80 more biscuits just sounds like actual work. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go up to this 468. I'm at 454. So if I get 15 more, that's 2 easy feats. I'm going to do that because I will get 1 more Omicron material.
Yeah. And those things are worth so much, you know?
Exactly. I feel like that's worth it to me. After that, it's shard shop currency, some of the pulse modulators, which pulse modulators aren't bad. That's for the taking a mod from whatever 6E to whatever, upgrading mods, the good one, the yellow one. 5A to 6E is what I meant. But yeah, I'll get 1 more, and then I'm just hitting those datacrons hard. And honestly, even that I'm looking at and saying, like, I don't even care about these right now.
Yeah.
I know some people get a lot of datacrons, but look, okay, I have Biggs and Chirrut. I have Dark Trooper Moff Gideon and Probe Droid. and I have Bo-Katan and Bam. Any other like Relic 9 is, I don't really care. I wouldn't hate having a regular Mando because I do use him. So that wouldn't be bad. And that's kind of what I'm looking at is like, if I'm going to level anything else up, maybe that. But on top of that, I got a couple other like Empire ones up to level 6, and then a whole slew of these level 3s. So I'm really thinking like, I'll get some of this stuff. I don't think character-wise there's anything else I really care about, so I'll just be sending a couple more up to 6. I'll try to re-roll some of these 3s, get some doubts, and I'm all right. Yeah. But it feels good having a robust enough collection of them. I have 16 of these, which it's not the most I've ever had. Like last time I had 20 something, but with 16 of them, like, I'll be fine when the next set dusts.
Yeah. I'm maxed
like that
out.
One time.
Yeah.
That one time where I had like 7 or 8 Datacrons from a set. I was like, what happened? So you said you maxed out what?
Yeah, the amount that I have. And so, like, I have the max amount. So that at that point, I mean, I can definitely put work into them, but... Yeah, you know, and I looked at it today.
Doesn't help at a certain point, and
and that's what I was looking at today for. Well, I mean, on my defense, especially with the fact that with 3v3 I needed more because I usually every single defense has one, whether it's good, bad, or really ugly. But you know, in this case now with 5v5, I don't have as many teams, so in the long run, I really don't need that many.
5v5, you absolutely have to have... Well, it depends on your league, I suppose. But in Kyber, you have to have 22 Datacrons to use one in every fight and get a full clear. You have to have 30 for 3v3. So, yeah, we're in a 5v5 season right now that just started. So I'm like, I'm golden. I don't care. I don't care about much. All right, so I want to talk for a second about the raid too, because you just got Drogon into the raid this time. How did that go? Did that change your score at all? What you're capable of?
No, it just happened. So in this case, like, it's going to be this time around. I did make a jump before because of Iden, with going Iden from to Relic 7. That really did help. So I'm actually at 6.1. Now, the funny part was I went back through my notes to see where I was for the last raid, and I never made it past 4. So, I mean, my arm's a little sore from patting myself on the back a little bit here because, I mean, that's good job me, right? And that's without even Leia. Last time I had Jabba. So, I mean, in this case, you know, if I end up getting Leia before the end of this, then I might be doing pretty good. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Drogon. He's only, I don't have him all the way maxed out yet. So, but, now interesting part was today, I was trying to do it earlier and I was not, normally I get like, maybe about 1.7 or so getting with, Piet and then Han in that last tier. I was getting 600, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to stop doing this for right now because I don't know what was happening, but like I wasn't getting any type of evasion there. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to wait. And so hopefully tomorrow I'll run it. And I'm hoping to get, I have to at least get it, you know, closer to the 7 range, I think. But I guess we'll see.
What I always do with those two, if it's helpful with Piet and Han, is I have 2 thresholds. It's pretty simple. Like Leia, there's a whole chart and there's how to mod her and like how to get a max score. And it's really, once you figure out the mods and save a preset, you can memorize it. I have it saved on my phone and it's on my desktop. So wherever I'm playing, I just look at it and just follow the steps. You get 2.7. But with Piet and Han, I do evasion, and I don't know if this is what you already do, but I do evasion whenever humanly possible on both of them.
Yeah.
And then if that's not available, you just do a basic. at 70%, I stop doing evasion on whoever the trooper is. So Piet. Stop doing evasion. He's only doing basics because by that point, when they're at 70% in rage, Han should have so much evasion that Piet is basically two-shotting everything, if not one. And then when it gets up to 90%, just all basics all the time for both of them. Because evasion at that point is not adding enough. Because once they get to 100, they're going to strip all that evasion off of both of them anyways. So just do what damage you can when it hits 90. And then outside of that, just watching, if you can do 100 damage, and, well, 100's a stretch on that one, but say you can do 60 damage, and there's one trooper with 50 health and one trooper with 12 health. Hit the 50. Like, make the big hits count. That's the only thing I really... Sometimes I don't pay attention to that one too much. I just pay attention to those two thresholds. At 70%, stop doing evasion with the trooper. At 90%, stop doing evasion with anyone. Just basics. So, I don't know if that helps, but...
No, it definitely does. I think that's something that I haven't been doing is actually looking at the percentage. Typically, I mean, I usually always do evasion every single time if I can, and then do basic. And most of the time, I'm getting pretty good numbers. I mean,
that's pretty sound. That's the important thing. Yeah. The only other things that come into play, like, that's how I run almost every team I do, unless it's someone like Hera that also has a heal.
Oh yeah.
Or like some of the Ewoks also have a heal. I'll do evasion if I can. If not, I'll heal. And then again, at 70%, the trooper is no longer doing evasion. At 90%, everyone's doing basics. The only team that I have that is absolutely not like that is Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker and Captain Rex. Running the two of them, so I've seen people get decent scores. They're not a great team, but I've seen people get decent scores. I cannot get squat out of that team no matter what I do. I can't make it work, so I usually throw it on auto and forget about it. But those two characters, like, I've got them both at Relic 7, so I want to use them, but God, neither of them have evasion. They're just...
I know, right?
They're just there.
I mean, isn't the same thing with Chewbacca? Chewbacca's just
Chewie.
average.
He's no good. I thought about taking him to Relic 7, too, because he's at Relic 6. Like, that'd be one more body on a Relic 7 team. And maybe if I stuck him with Luke and Rex... Maybe that would help. I have no idea. That team is just... that team, when this raid came out, before I understood evasion and troopers, I hated it. I hated the raid. I hated everything about it. It confused me, and it was like doing taxes to me. Running Jedi Knight Luke and Captain Rex feels that same way. The rest of the raid I enjoy because I do the trooper evasion thing and it's fine. But running that team, I have that same feeling of like, I don't understand this and I don't like it and I'm not getting a good score and I want it to stop.
That's funny.
All right. It is time once again for our Grand Arena breakdown. Whether it was a sweet, sweet victory or a salty, salty rant, we are here to dissect our week in GAC. And if you want a front row seat to the action, catch us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/theothershawn and twitch.tv/thegoldenpoptart with a 1 in place of the L. Join the chat, cheer us on, watch us fail. Ready? Neither are we. Let's do this. How was your first 5v5 season opener?
Well, I mean, I'll start with it ended with a promotion. So I'm up to Kyber 2 again.
Congratulations.
I really hope that I can stay more than one round this time. That's the longest I've ever been. Not even, it's round. Yeah, I think I've never won while in Kyber 2. So cross your fingers for me. We'll see what happens. And so So obviously I spoiled it. It definitely was a win against SG Dank Doggist. Interesting name, right? I mean,
yeah,
pretty fun. So it definitely was not it was not one of those ones where I'm like, oh, I'm really, really far behind in GP. But on the other side of it, we still had some pretty good things as a whole. Definitely had a better roster than me, but a little bit smaller than I'm usually going against. First off, Leia was there. I mean, 5v5 is so much better with Jabba attacking her. I mean, the fact that when this Datacron goes, I think all of us are probably in a little bit of trouble.
We're going to get shook.
Yeah.
Jabba, I'll be happy, though, because attacking Jabba with that Datacron, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Agreed.
I hate it.
Agreed. And that's where I am, like, I had it on defense, but then as soon as I saw that they had Leia, I just moved it to offense. And, man, it was nice. It does feel good to get that easy win with Leia.
It does. It does. That'll go away soon.
Yeah, that will. Starkiller, I really don't have a good team. So I usually end up just doing a mirror match. And usually it just works out really well. I really need to find a team that works well against that. But I don't want to waste a GL on it.
Doing Starkiller mirror, the AI is stupid. And they will let you win almost every time.
So Vader was out there. Kenobi took care of it. I know there's things I can do better against Lord Vader, but I just don't want to mess with it. Now, I probably should have did this better. I thought I was going to be okay. I mapped it out, saw exactly what I needed to do. We just didn't execute 100%. But I always love seeing Jedi Master Luke on defense because Sith Eternal and Watt just eats that up. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the downside is Reva, and I got a little bit cocky because I thought maybe, my Phoenix team could do it, and then I started looking at the mods going, oh, there's green in here, and it's not the good green either, so I really have bad mods on them. I mean, obviously my Captain Rex is doing pretty well, but he's only Relic 5, and Reva just swat him away like the little bugs that they are, and it was just done. So that ended up being rough. I ended up putting 4 teams against that. So that was a really big challenge. Ended up getting... I didn't think I was going to even finish with her. And so then I had Maul left. I'm like, it has a 0% rate, basically. Like it's like, I think, 15%. I took out everybody except for 7th. And so, hey, easy cleanup in the long run. So that worked out pretty well. And then... I ended up actually going against a Malgus team, and I don't love Malgus in general with it, but I looking at him like, okay, I can do a bounty hunter. It looks like that has a pretty good success ratio, and so I put Bam in there thinking that, okay, if I have the Datacron, that this is going to help, and then I'm hoping to be able to keep some people alive.
In theory, sure. In
theory, right? Malgus deleted him first. One shot delete. I don't even know how that works. I went back and looked at the kit going, where's the delete button? It was a full-on just flat, like...
I know the feeling.
And I'm going, wow. And then from there, I don't even know why I put them in there. I probably shouldn't have even done that. I was thinking, well, this should work, but it didn't. And so then ended up having to use, using... Jedi Knight Revan with Jedi Master, Jedi Knight Luke, and then Cal, and we cleaned it up. So now the nice thing is I decided on ships. I was going to just go full force ships, and they just got trash. They basically got the cheapest of cheap ships on defense, only 3, no reinforcements.
Oh, man. The reinforcements is a sweet sight.
Right? So that's great. So that means I was easily able to take care of ships. But again, it was a nasty... I end up winning 1699 to a 72. So if this person tried in any way, they probably could have beat me. Could have. But on the other side...
They had a chance.
They gave me a 72, meaning again, just letting you know I could beat you, but I didn't.
Right.
So... So yeah, I'm in Kyber 2. So again, I'm not in the same Kyber 2 that you have. Like I'm that one that buys the house, the the crappiest house in the nice neighborhood. That's where I am right now. So, so tell me a little bit about your neck of the woods in Kyber 2.
My house it's being foreclosed, man. It wasn't pretty. I did my attacks last night as we record on Wednesday night. And I had so much fun. It was just an absolute blast. I messed up a little, sure. I think it was their Star Killer took me 2 teams to beat, and I don't remember what I tried first, but it failed. And then I think I went in with my Star Killer and took care of it. But I kind of messed up. It was week 1 of a new Grand Arena, and so I went in and set all my defenses, right? Forgot to look at ships.
Ooh.
Last 5v5, I didn't have Leviathan.
Oh, yeah.
So I had all my Sith ships set on defense with endurance. So now I've got Leviathan, but what's it going to do? Nothing, you know? So that was terrible. Outside of that, it was a pretty good attack. I felt really good about it. There were no datacrons, which I don't know if that's a conscious thing. Like, some people won't engage with datacrons. They're just like real salty about it, and I disagree, but I know that there's people who feel that way, so I wouldn't be shocked if that was it. But the other thing, in week 1, maybe it was a bunch of old datacrons that dusted and they forgot to put the new ones on there. Maybe it's a combination. I don't know.
I've been there before.
Yeah. And I actually forgot to apply a datacron to one of my teams, but whatever. But I cleaned house. Otherwise, it was really good. I got to the end, and I still had Jedi Master Kenobi, and I still had Afra with her datacron, and I didn't use them. And I thought, well, that's incredibly silly. So, anyways, then I get into ships, and it all falls apart. Like I said, I had my Leviathan, but not the ships that go with it. So, unlock ships, and you see it's Profundity, Executor, Leviathan. Well, this is going to be a problem because I don't have my Leviathan. So, I know my counters, right? I'm going to use... well, actually, at first, I didn't even think this would work. But I did a mirror match of Executor because I looked at their mods, and their mods were somehow worse than my Cad Bane mods and IG-88 mods, which for 11 million GP, I got some pretty bad mods on those guys. So I knew I had faster ships. All right, let's try this counter. And that was smoked him. Just absolutely smoked him. Beautiful. Next, let's take out that Leviathan with Chimera, you know, like the kids do these days. I got beat, man. I got really, really beat down. So then I tried, I don't remember what was next. If it was, I think it was Finalizer that I tried. And that did some damage. It did enough damage to make a difference. So that I could go in with, I think, my Leviathan and some kind of garbage ships. Like, I think I did TIE Bomber, because that can be a lifesaver. And just some weird ships. And I cleaned it up, and I beat their Leviathan. Cool. So now Profundity got to do a mirror match. SWGOH.GG GAC Insight lied to me. It lied to me. It said there was an 85% chance that this lineup was going to beat that lineup. And there was a 100% chance that I was going to mess that up. So I did. And that was dirty. I didn't beat anyone. It was ugly. I hated it. No, I did. I beat the Y-Wing, but that was it. So, I mean, at this point, like, clearly I'm not going to clear them, right? Let's do Radis. Let's do it. I got my resistance fleet. Let's make it happen. I'm going down in flames, but I did take Dash out, And I took out Phantom, I believe, too, which was their first reinforcement. So take Dash out, and I'm going down. But at the last second, I pulled off a Holdo maneuver and took out Profundity.
That's awesome.
So now we've got a Falcon floating out there with Biggs, I think, and at one of the U-Wings, maybe. No capital ship, but that Falcon is no joke. So what do I have left? I have Executrix. What's going to go with Executrix, you might ask? It was Clone Arc 150, like Clone Sarge. It was Jedi Consular. It was Palpmobile. I think there was another Empire ship in there. Reaper. I had TIE Reaper. I literally used every ship I had. And I beat Profundity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, technically Profundity was beat. But I beat the Falcon with this garbage fleet. It was a miracle. And then the guy full cleared me and I lost. So 17-32 or 1732 to 1822. I didn't get a single defense. 1822 just means you got uppercut.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I really feel that way. So, anyways, that said, let me pull myself out of my feelings here and ask, who you grinding?
Man, I mean, tell you what, I will say first, I missed somebody that was grinding. And so the nice part is I forgot all about Wicket, and Wicket got some love today.
Oh, Wicket's who's a good little boy.
I know, right? He wasn't like the smelly little Ewok guy. He was kind of like fluffy after a shower.
Not like the Ewoks in the movies, but the Ewok plush toys that they sold. Like,
yeah, right.
Cute. You wanted to snuggle
I'm with you on that one. Mm-hmm. It's like blow dried hair.
Salon fresh Wicket.
There you go. Right. So Bo's kind of been moved a little bit to the back, but I'm still working on those shards here. So Paz got him done up to 7 stars. Got him up to gear 12.
Nice.
That was a huge help. Maybe I'll even say it one more time. Huge help in Conquest. The difference between gear 11 to gear 12 was pretty good because I ended up using Rey in that group. So I had Rey like for the heat one, and then I kept on just feeding him protection. Oh man, that was perfect. That actually worked out really, really well. So other than you go and get 10 per round, but it still worked out pretty good. Now IG-12, 52 out of 85 up to 74 out of 85. Not too crazy, but a little bit better than last week. Kelleran, 28 out of 65 up to 41 out of 65. That's a slow grind, 100%.
It sure is.
Now, with going full force into Leia, I do feel pretty good. Drogon was the biggest winner of the week. We went from 85 out of 100 all the way up to Relic 6. So one more Relic level for him, and then he will be done. Scout Trooper, we're not too far. So 42 out of 100 up to 68 out of 100. And then I did end up getting Kanisa up to 7 stars. She was at 97, so I thought that was going to work out pretty well.
Yeah.
Now, she went from gear 7 up to gear 10, so she's still the Ewok from the movies. Was she in the movies, by the way?
She was not. She was created
she was in the
Ewok
the show.
Cartoon.
Yeah. Well, maybe she's always nice and fluffy.
I think
what else on there?
I think so.
Now, here's the big one. Lobot went from gear 2 to gear 3, so I know you guys had that on your bingo sheet, but that means that I'm at that point where I just don't have the lower gear anymore, and it is painful. And then speaking of Wicket, he went from gear 11 to gear 12, so got a little bit of gold, and I'm going to be able to use him one more level up, so hopefully he gets me a couple more points in the raid.
Oh, yeah.
So the nice thing is I will finally unlock Scythe here just, we got about 2 days, and that'll happen. So that'll be really good to finally have, that all taken care of. I even saved up all of the mats and all of like the money, because usually typically I go through that pretty good. That's how I get most of my mods, or was doing it. So I've saved up enough now. I should be good. So now Omicron, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I should have waited. I wasn't 100% confident that I was going to get, and I might not actually get him right away, but if it turns out to where it's a month before I end up getting Bane, I think that Omicron would have been smarter for Bane, but I ended up putting on Captain Rex, and it didn't work for Reva.
It's so good. Yeah, well, I guess it's not that good, but no,
I know, right? So.
I mean, that's the most recent one I've done, and I sleep well at night knowing that I really believe that was a great choice.
I just have a lot that I need at the moment, so I mean, Ben Solo, don't have all of his yet, so I mean,
sure.
I have a few that I definitely could have done, but I mean, it's going to be worth it. I actually really like the Phoenix team, and at some point in the near future, I want to get them up to decent relics, because I want that to be a Reva team. So, but
sure.
Mods wise, just been kind of keeping an update on that. I did get Ben Solo. He got above, I think he's at 14.5 now for special attack. That was my goal. Worked out pretty well. Then I ended up doing every single refresh, not the 75s. I went all the way to the 40s for each of the mod pieces to it, trying to get it just didn't work. So
yeah,
he is not the fastest, but on the other side of it, he does have a lot of great mods, just not all great speed mods.
Yeah.
Next, I'm going to remod the whole Phoenix team. My thing is I don't have hot utils, so in the end, I just keep my mods on there. So it does take me a little while, but I really try to keep the mods there. So with all of them, I mean, again, it's Phoenix, so they still have the same mods when I went against them way back in the day for I'm drawing a blank.
Unlocking Thrawn.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Right. So for Thrawn
I was about
mods,
to say, when was the last time we needed Phoenix?
I know. Yeah. So that was a little bit tough. So I was able to definitely increase it just a little bit, but we got some purple and some blue in there and some green. So we got to get those taken care of.
Yep.
And then lastly, for ships, I actually started back up on the BLT again. Now that I have a little bit more energy, when I had I think I had 6 people that I was doing shards for. So now I got that back up. We went from 13 out of 85 up to 27 out of 85. That's really the main thing that with Lord Vader, I got to get that done. So at some point, hopefully later in the year, I can get that all set. Marauder, 17 out of 100 up to 39 out of 100. And again, that's another one where my bad batch are just like puny batch at this point. So they're just not going to happen. But hey, we'll get it taken care of. So yeah, so that's with mine. I mean, Drogon R6 feels good. Just R8 for my next one.
He hits so stupid hard too. When he torches somebody and it just melts them.
Oh, and I mean, I was thinking, again, Mon Mothma team or something like that in the meantime.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He can live there for sure.
So yeah, so that's my week there. So I got to ask as well, who you grinding?
Well, same old. My Bo-Katan grind is pretty close to yours. My IG-12 and Grogu went from 7 up to 24 out of 85, so I'm a little behind on that. Paz, 51. No, that was last week. 69 out of 100 up to 94 out of 100. So we're so close. I've got the gear to take him to 12, and I haven't looked at what he needs at 12 because thing is, if he hits 12, he's clearly my biggest priority at gear 12, right? You got to get him to relic 7. But I'm about to get Bane too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather put the work in on Bane, get him ready, because it's going to be a while before I have Grogu and Keller and Beck done. So, yeah, that's that. Keller and Beck, speaking of him, 28 up to 43 out of 65. My Jedi Knight Cal stuff, still working it. Saw, is 6 stars now. He went from 80 out of 85 up to 8 out of 100. Tarful did a measly 15 up to 29 out of 85. It just hurts to look at.
Yeah,
it's so much. It's 156 shards I still need. So that's basically, you think there's 330 shards for each character. I'm about halfway done with Tarful now.
Ooh, you getting there?
It hurts. Let's see. Other things that I did, though. Zori, I was working on her. We had those bonus drops. That was awesome. I wish that would have happened just a little bit sooner.
I know, right?
Because I only needed like 5 or something to unlock her. So, or to get her to 7 stars. So obviously she hit 7 stars. Took her to Relic 3 so she can be Datacroned. She doesn't have the Omega, so she's not a huge priority. Or Omicron, sorry. Not a huge priority, but whatever. Done and dusted. Love it. Biggs, I got his Datacron. So he's in the favorites. I'm going to take him up to Relic 5. He's 3 right now because that's the requirement for Luke. And then right before Grand Arena locked, I'm sitting here saving up all this Relic stuff for Darth Bane. But I know me. I have not specifically studied what gear he needs to hit gear 13. So there's a good... I got Cairo like you wouldn't believe. Just hundreds of Cairo I'm sitting on.
Oh, wow.
So that's fine. But I know it's going to be some of that other stuff that I'll just, be completely... Some of that Gear 12 stuff. There's no way I've got all that. So, point being, I could spend a little bit of this Relic stuff. I'll probably have a little while. So I took Lord Vader from Relic 8 up to Relic 9. Right before roster lock. And I feel all right about that. I really do. I feel like sometimes roster lock dictates that you do something right now, instead of in a couple days. Because that means I got a whole week with a Relic 9 Vader. Otherwise, whatever. So I did that. Zetas, I'm saving them. I've got about 40 mats. Omicrons, in a couple days, I'll have 20. So I'll be able to give Bane 1 when I get him. And I haven't even looked. What's he have, like 2 or 3? I think 3.
I think 3. Usually Conquest characters have 3.
I haven't looked at like what the smart one is, but I'll figure that out and give him his best one. I can't imagine. I mean, my other contenders for data or for Omicrons were, I was looking at Embo and at Juhani, which are both Territory War Omicrons. They're very good Territory War Omicrons, but come on.
Yeah,
Darth Bane. It's going to be Darth Bane.
I mean,
I'm not putting a lot of thought into this one.
It just feels like this is going to be a character that is going to change things. It just feels that way.
Yeah.
Like it seems like everyone I talk to is going hardcore for him, and everything that you see, like already getting another buff too. I mean, shoot, even didn't matter what the team was. If I brought him in Conquest, we won. I mean,
oh sure, yeah,
it was.
He's a monster.
I mean, it just feels like
this from a guy who, not that long ago, was like, maybe I'll do this Scout Trooper one. Maybe. No, get out of here, Darth Bane. It's Darth Bane.
You gotta.
Datacrons. Oh, I already mentioned what Datacrons I got. I'm feeling good. Like I said, I do want to reroll to get some more doubts and the protection up for the light side ones. That would be nice. I feel like those level 3 ones, I just rolled garbage for those, but I'm not going to complain. I got all the big character ones that you want, and I got, like I said, I got the Bo-Katan one, and I don't have her yet, but I will, and I think I will before this set dusts. So I better before this set dusts. So we got it. That's all we got for you this week. It may not be the best advice, but at least we didn't recommend you almost give your Scout Trooper an Omicron like I did. And it'll probably be my next one after Bane. Who are we kidding? If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord server. It's in the show description. Become a real live Jawa by supporting us on Patreon, and share your thoughts by leaving us a podcast review. Big thanks also go out to swgoh.gg and swgohevents.com for providing all the hard data we misinterpret weekly. Another thanks to our newest Sandcrawler supporter, Pabu Appa. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for tuning in, and may the Force and RNG be with you.